Welcome back, besties. If you recall, a couple weeks ago, I had a video talking about how to shred fat and the truth behind metabolism, understanding the data, science, and research. But today, what we're gonna talk about is taking everything we learned in that video and making it practical and real. Because in my opinion, having the information is the first step. But the second step is, okay, practically and realistically, how do I apply that science and that data into my real day-to-day life so that I can actually shred fat? So think of me as kind of your copy lab, hypothesis, test buddy, whatever scientists say, because you're just gonna be hanging out with me today and we're going to go through step by step what I would do if I was you in your shoes after I just watched that video and what I'm going to do to shred fat. One in fat loss is understanding our why. So here I have a journal, a pen, and we're going to write out 3 whys that are going to sustain us during our fat loss journeys. The reason having a strong why is so important is because motivation fluctuates. We all are gonna have those days where we plan to go work out at 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, but you are underneath your bed, you're cozied up with your dog or your spouse, and you're like, I don't wanna go. Your why is going to be that piece that propels you into getting up. It's going to be the motivation factor. Writing down your why, you almost want to answer the question, why am I X, Y, and Z? So in this case, why am I shredding fat? I want to shred fat because when I go to work, when I go and hang out with friends or family on the weekend, I want to feel comfortable in my body and the person that God created me to be, and I don't want to feel like I want to be someone else. The second reason of why I would want to shred fat is because I want to have a family and kids and grandkids, and when I'm older, I want to be able to play with my kids, to take them to the park, to push them, to possibly even do like small runs with them and just have a healthy family lifestyle where we're outside and we're active and we're playing together, we're going to the beach together. So I want to have the energy to play with my kids and have a healthy lifestyle. Yeah. Thirdly, I might even write down 4 reasons, because now as I think about this, all of these reasons are coming to my head. I want to be in the best mood possible. Like when I'm at work, I want to feel energized and I want to feel positive, and working out increases your endorphins, and I want to continue to have that for years and years. So I also want to reduce the risk of chronic illnesses like diabetes and heart and just all of those chronic illnesses. I'll make this the last one. I'm gonna be real. I want my spouse, Nick, I want them to find me sexy. Like I want to be that like hot mom kind of vibe. Like I have 3 kids and I'm walking in the park and they're like, how does she look like that? Like that's gonna be my superficial one. Like I want to be a sexy ass mom, and I don't think there's anything wrong with. Okay, step 1, write out your whys. I'm not gonna show you guys my whys because my handwriting's really sloppy, but you have to understand why you want this and remind yourself of this. So what we're gonna do is go put this right next to my bed, so every time I'm going to sleep or every time I wake up, I can see my why and remind myself of them. Step 2 is setting realistic goals. One of the main ways I like to do this is with progress pictures. Progress pictures, in my opinion, are a lot better than getting on the scale because they're gonna help you see your full body composition. Really, the scale can't really reflect accurate changes in your body like progress pictures can. Relying solely on a scale to track your fat loss can be a little bit misleading for 3 reasons. 1, water weight. Our water weight fluctuates every single day due to hormonal changes, how much water we're drinking, how much we sweat during our exercises, and so the scale is going to jump up and down based on that. The second reason a scale is misleading is because of muscle mass. Your scale cannot detect how much muscle mass that you have, and muscle weighs more than fat. And so while we're on this fat loss journey, it's really important to make sure that we're maintaining our muscle mass while also decreasing our fat loss. And because muscle weighs more than because muscle weighs more than fat, your scale may increase, but it may be an increase in muscle mass, which is also increasing your BMR and your metabolism, as we talked about in the last video, which is not bad. You're going to get the more lean, toned look that you want, even though the weight may be increasing. The third reason is body composition. Weight loss is not the same as fat loss. It's possible to lose weight but not necessarily lose fat, just in the example that we just talked about. Or if you're losing weight at an extremely fast amount where you're not eating enough protein every single day, you may be losing weight but not maintaining that muscle mass. Now that we've taken our progress pictures, I want to show you guys the combination that works the best for me when it comes to shredding fat, and that is cardio and strength training. In a little bit, we're going to go to the gym and I'm going to show you guys a couple of dynamic full body exercises that are going to be incredible. But for right now, I just want to walk you through realistically how I go for a run. So normally I do 2 to 3 sessions of cardio every single week and 3 sessions of strength training. And it is backed by research, and I was also an athlete, and so I've trained this way. You can train cardio and strength training at the same time and see optimal results. You can burn fat and increase your muscle and endurance and all of it. And to me, it's the best and most perfect combination, no matter what your goals are. Even if you are someone who is only trying to put on muscle mass, I still think you should have at least 1 day of cardio for your heart health and for all of the benefits that cardio brings. So, as you guys can see, I didn't just put on this cute outfit for nothing. This outfit is kind of like the most optimal running outfit in my opinion. Number one, we have our running shoes. If you guys go back to a couple of videos, I talked about cardio, I talked about proper footwear and just the importance of it. When you are running, especially long distance or sprinting, you are hitting the ground at extremely high impacts. So all of that impact is coming up into your body. So you want to make sure that your feet are protected, and you need to, I highly recommend quality running shoes, especially if you want to take running to the next level and you want to do it consistently. After that, we have leggings. Personally, I'm just like a leggings running girl. Unless I'm sprinting, then sometimes I'll do more shorts or spandex. But because I have thighs, okay, they rub together, and so my leggings help my thighs stop rubbing together consistently. And then normally it's just like a sports bra underneath, or say it's colder out, I'll put on a jacket. And then I also have my phone running equipment thing. Honestly, I'm not sure what this is, but I put my phone in here and then I put my AirPods in so that I don't have to hold my phone when I'm running. This is like $12 Amazon, and I'm telling you, it's so worth it. It seems like one of those things you would buy and never use, but I use it every single time because holding your phone, you'll start to grip it a little bit more in your hand. And we're going to talk a little bit about like the technique of running, and you want to be as relaxed as possible, whether you're sprinting or long distance running. You don't want to have any pressure or force because you want your body to be doing all the work for you while you're running. And so just having something that your phone's holding is going to help you out a lot. And then I also have a hat on specifically because I love wearing hats when I run, kind of, because I don't like wearing sunglasses when I'm running because sometimes they fall off, they're all over the place. And living in sunny Florida, it's good to always make sure you're protecting your face, protecting your skin from sun, and then you don't have to wear sunglasses. So this is kind of like the optimal running like wear, even though it's something that a lot of people don't think about, but I do think it's really important. And then when it comes to our technique, again, go back and watch some of those other videos because I kind of dive deep into what your cardio form should look like. But for instance, today we're going to be doing about 2 miles, which is, to some people it's mid-distance, some people it's long distance, kind of depends on who you're asking. But for the purpose of this, we'll call this a mid-distance run.
Mid-distance run, number one, you want to be relaxed. You want your muscles, your lower body to be doing all of the work for you. So you want to relax your shoulders, you want to relax your arms. They're going to be coming out right in front of you, swinging from side to side. You don't want your arms coming across your body. I've seen people do that. That normally happens when you're sprinting and you're trying to speed up. But for the purpose of a mid-distance run, you want to make sure your arms are nice and relaxed in front of you. And then for your knees, you don't want to bring them up as high as a sprint. So we're not going to be in this full 90 degrees motion because it's a little bit longer of a distance. You're going to probably bring them up roughly about here. You'll see it more accurately when I am running, but the point I'm trying to make is you're not bringing your knees up all the way to a 90-degree angle. It's just kind of wasted energy. And then when it comes to your foot, you want to stay on the top ball of your foot / mid-strike. You kind of don't want to start getting into the mid-strike, even though this is a more mid-distance run. For sprinting and for kind of more 2 miles, 3 miles, 5 miles, you want to try to stay on the ball of your foot as much as possible. And then when you get into those really long distances, that's when you can start hitting a little bit more of your midfoot. But I say all of this with the caveat that everyone's running form does look different. And so when you see different people running, make sure you know that, like, when I say have good posture, be relaxed, have a slight lean, all of those things may look a little bit different on everyone and also depends on your skill level. So make sure you're not comparing yourself and looking at someone who's been running for 30, 40, 50 years and you're like, oh, my running form needs to look exactly like them, because it just comes with time. It comes as you get more natural. And then my last running technique is your breathing. I can't tell you how important it is to make sure you are calming your breath. Running more than anything is a mental game. For your breathing, you want to make sure you're taking nice calm breaths in through your nose and 2 slow breaths out through your mouth. That's what works best for me. So I'm breathing in, and then every single time I'm running throughout the whole run, that's my breathing. And when you focus in on that, it honestly helps you a lot not to focus in on the actual run. And then the last thing I want to hit on is your intensity. A lot of people think when they go out to run, they need to be running 100%, but that is honestly not the case. What I've seen to be the most optimal is called polarized training. Think about it as you have 3 different, what's the best way to describe this? Think about it as you have 3 different phases of running. This is how my coach explained it to me, and I think it makes a lot of sense. Your phase 1 is kind of like your 50 to 60%. Like, it's a nice, cool run. Like, you're not pushing pace. It's nice and easy. Then phase 2 is pushing pace, okay? You're going pretty fast, probably about 85 to 90%. Almost all out, but you're not all out all yet. And then phase 3 is like an all-out sprint. When you are running, what researchers and sports scientists have seen as the most optimal is when you are running in 70 to 80% of the time in that zone 1 and about the rest of the time in that zone 3. So practically what that looks like is if you go out to run 3 times a week, 2 of those training sessions being those light, easy runs, the third one, half of it still being a light, easy run, and then the other half, maybe you pause and do 10 sprints or 5 sprints to end the run. But overall, you're not running at 100% intensity every single time. The second training that some people do is called threshold training, and that's when they're primarily running in that zone 2, which in my opinion is extremely tough, because it's like every time you're going out to run, you're pushing yourself to about 85 to 90% of your max, which honestly is quite a lot. We could talk about this all day. There's so much to running, but I just want to give you guys a quick highlight overview.
so good. We kind of chatted through this a little bit in the last video, but I just want to quickly refresh since we're talking about fat loss and showing the realistic way on how to do it. So right now we're on our way to get some lunch at one of my favorite salad places, and I really want you guys to notice how much food I get, because I feel like it's really common to think when we're going through our fat loss or when we're trying to shred fat that now we have to restrict ourselves, avoid food and not eat. But really, when you're going through your fat loss, you almost want to add more food. And when you think about being in a calorie deficit or lowering your calorie intake, it's recommended that you do it at a rate of about 12 to 10%, depending on where your calories at maintenance are. And so how you would find your calories at maintenance is figuring out how much food do you eat on a weekly basis. Take the average of all 7 of those days and divide that, of course, by 7, and that would be your normal calorie maintenance, because every single day it fluctuates. So let's say you're a person who eats about 2,500 calories a day, and with a 10% calorie deficit, now you're going to be eating 2,250, but you're also going to be making sure you're maintaining your protein, you're maintaining your high fiber, and if you're getting enough sleep and drinking water, really you're going to still be eating a lot of quality, high dense foods. And so when we go here, I'm gonna make sure I load up on the protein, because protein is so important, and I'm gonna make sure that when I eat, I feel full, I feel satisfied, like I'm eating and I'm enjoying the food. It's also a really good food place, so I'm picking a good one for a reason, but your fat loss journey should not feel restrictive, and it should not feel like you can't eat. Stay around that 10% deficit, stay around there for about 2 to 3 weeks at a time before cutting any lower. And again, also making sure you're seeing how you're feeling, you still feel strong in your workouts, and over time you will start to see your fat loss continue to happen. Confession to make, I've been to this place 3 times this week. Like I'm kind of embarrassed to walk in. They're gonna be like, "Are you back again?" Yes, I am. I'm gonna get the Caesar, and then listen to this, I'm getting 2 proteins, which is gonna rack up the price, but hey, we gotta get our protein in. So I'm gonna get chicken and steak and add tomatoes. Gotta add tomatoes. Can I add tomatoes and avocado? Look at this. Does anyone get so excited to eat, or is it just me? Okay, fun fact, I literally make this salad almost every single day. Like probably 4 times a week, especially during the work week. But for some reason, when I pay $20 to eat it here, it just tastes so much better. It tastes so much better. We had that meal first for a reason. It's because you never go grocery shopping hungry. You're more likely to buy a ton more food, and you're gonna buy food that's probably not as good for you because you're just so hungry in the moment, so you're a little bit more irrational. So before I go grocery shopping, I always make a little plan and I write out my list based on like carbs, protein, fibers, again, all the stuff that we're trying to fuel our body with, and then we grocery shop. I also too make my grocery list based off of meals. So like for this week, I'm like, I'm gonna eat a salad, I'm gonna make stew, I'm gonna throw out whatever meal, and then I buy those ingredients versus just going in the store buying whatever. Isn't she pretty? Okay, first things first, I've wanted to do a grocery haul in one of my videos for the longest time. I think a grocery haul was one of my first ever YouTube videos. Feel free to go back in the day and watch that if you want. So I feel like I'm living in this moment right now to show you guys everything I've purchased. I had no groceries, so I really had to stack up on just the thing is, I wanted my avocados to be softer, so now they're just like naturally helping me out. But I also want to say I can't wait for the day where I'm in my fresh, new, beautiful kitchen. I have a little island and it's almost like cooking with Alaias. Can you guys just imagine that? Like, we're gonna maneuver for today, but in the future, it's gonna be like full kitchen. We're chopping stuff up, we're mixing it around. But you know, I'll keep living in my vision and manifesting. But for today, we went grocery shopping. I just want to show you guys realistically like what I purchased, why I purchased it. You kind of saw me go in the grocery store, start buying a couple of things. I always go grocery shopping with a plan. You will never see me walk in the grocery store unless I'm picking up a few items and just not having things that I'm specifically buying. It's gonna save you money, it's gonna save you time, and it'll stop you from just buying the whole grocery store like myself. So starting off with some of the vegetables, I do a huge thing of green beans. Normally I pair this with salmon or some type of protein for dinner. And then I also try to make a protein bowl every night. If you remember our video not too long ago, I talked about salads first, really meaning just putting your vegetables and green items first. So I got some kale and romaine lettuce for our salad bowls. Then I also purchased broccoli. Normally I like the little broccolini, but I just couldn't find them today, so I went with broccoli. Then 2 avocados for avocado toast, or I like to add them to my salads. I also purchased 2 carbohydrates. Sweet potatoes are carbs. And me and Nick were actually just talking about sweet potatoes the other day because he was telling me how you can get so much more out of sweet potatoes than you can other carbohydrates like pasta. We were doing the math, and for how much sweet potatoes he eats, it's only like 200 or 300 calories a day, but that same amount of pasta is like 2,000 calories. So sweet potatoes are really, really good carb for you. They also taste delicious if you make them right and in the air fryer. Then I grab a ton of tomatoes because I love tomatoes. Oops. Put that back over there. Lemons, limes, these are really good just to spice up some of your salads or your meals. Adding them to your protein makes them taste really, really good. 2 peppers and an onion to spice up some of our meals. And then for fruit, we did some grapes. I love snacking on grapes, and frozen grapes are such a good snack. And then I'm not gonna lie, I probably should have just did a whole pineapple because it's slightly cheaper, but they were cut up so cute, so I bought them like this. And then I also got some bananas for a recipe that we're gonna make right after this. And then because my salad earlier had bacon bits, I'm just trying to recreate that salad because it was so good. So I purchased some bacon to go in my salads, and then this P.F. Chang's lettuce sauce because I love to add sauces, spices to my protein and my meats to really add and enhance the flavor. Then moving into our meats, top sirloin fillets. This is actually new for me. If you guys noticed on my salad today, I had steak and chicken. So because we're cutting, I'm trying to increase the amount of protein. So I normally am not a huge like pork or beef eater, but I'm also iron deficient. So if I forget to take my iron pill, sometimes it's nice having beef because beef has a lot of iron in it. And then I also did some chicken breast, green wise chicken breast, and then chicken sausage. This is such a fun way to spice up some meals or breakfast and get some protein in, and it just tastes so good. And it's a slightly healthier alternative than normal sausage. Then we also did turkey breast for different sandwiches, and then salmon, brown sugar salmon, which you can't see, but it's underneath here. Oops. Then for like some beverages, I purchased 3 different types of shots. So we have a turmeric shot, an immunity shot with zinc and probiotics, and then a ginger shot. And then sometimes what I do to like enhance the flavor of these shots is I put them in a hydrating lemon water. So for instance, I could put the ginger shot with this kiwi star fruit and it tastes really good. It's kind of like a fun mocktail to make, and it's still super healthy and good for you. Then I also purchased a salad Caesar mix just because honestly I love the dressing in these Caesar mixes. Like the romaine lettuce, I already purchased that. I'm really buying these for the dressing, which is probably also a waste of money, but I like it. And I can't find dressing like that in the big bottles. Then I purchased some cilantro to spice up some of my meals. I like to throw this in my rice to make cilantro lime rice. So good. And then croutons for my salads. And then you know what? I stopped playing game with Celsius because I used to purchase the single cans of Celsius. I also call them Celsius, by the way, all of the time. And I started doing the math and it's like $3 for each Celsius, and just buying the pack of 12 is so much smarter. So, you know, maybe one day they'll sponsor this video, Celsius, if you're watching this, because you guys are taking all my money. And then I also did some fajita mix. Again, probably thinking I'll put this on the beef just to spice up the flavor. Teriyaki sauce. If you guys can't tell by now, I'm a big sauce girl. Like I think I add sauce to almost every single thing. And so the P.F. Chang's teriyaki sauce is really, really good. And then this also stops me from going to P.F. Chang's every other day. And then lastly, to finish up, I purchased some rice that I'll sometimes make with my salmon and vegetables at night, some croissants for a croissant breakfast sandwich, tortillas to make some type of wrap, and salsa and oats for oatmeal or different like breakfasts you can make with oatmeal. But that pretty much sums up the grocery haul. Now what I'm gonna do is put everything up, try to make it nice and cute and organized. And I also slice up like my vegetables and my vegetables and sometimes fruit to put them in little containers so that throughout the week, I'm a lot more likely to grab them when they're already sliced up and kind of meal prepped versus just having them all crunched up in bags. This also shows you what I mean when I say meal prepping, because I don't prep out my entire weeks, because then by the time like Thursday or Friday comes, I normally don't want the food anymore. But I prep my produce, my fruits, my veggies, just so that throughout the week, I'm a lot more likely to make a kale bowl or to make something with broccoli or add in peppers now that everything's already sliced and ready to go. So it's kind of thinking a little bit more like forward facing. And Alaias at 6 o'clock when she just got off from work and she's really tired, I may not feel like slicing the peppers, but the peppers are already sliced and now all I have to do is dump them in the pan. Like just thinking, how can I help myself and set myself up for the most success later throughout the week is my version of meal prepping. Thank you so much for making it this far in the video. I really hope this gave you a practical and realistic look on how I would go about shredding fat. At the moment, I'm actually trying to maintain, but if I was going back on my fat loss journey, these are all of the steps that I would approach in a day to day. And if you haven't seen part 1 of this video, make sure you go back and watch that one, because what we were ultimately doing is taking all of the information and the research from part 1 and realistically showing you what that looks like in part 2, which was this video. So I hope all of the tips and the steps made sense for you guys. What I did not show is my night routine, because there are a couple things at night that are really, really important, like making sure you're winding down, having a nice calm and relaxing night routine so that you can get a quality sleep. Because if you ultimately are trying to shred fat and be toned, getting quality sleep, which is recommended about 7 to 9 hours every single night, is so important. It's going to balance your hormones, and it's also going to make sure that your cortisol levels are not spiked. If you have a high amount of cortisol, that means your body is going to think that you're in this fight or flight mode more, and it's just going to spike a lot of things in your body that you don't want to be spiked, and it's ultimately going to make it harder for you to lose fat. So make sure you are getting enough sleep at night, that you are putting yourself in a nice calm and relaxing vibe so that you do get enough sleep. I love to drink tea, and I also have so many videos on my channel already detailing my nighttime routine, so make sure you guys go back and watch some of those videos as well. But I really, really hope this video helped you. It was so much fun to make, so let me know if you guys want to see more videos like this, or if there's anything else that I can show you that's going to help you on your fat loss journey. And if you don't don't know, in high school, I lost over 65 pounds. And if you don't know, in high school, I lost over 65 pounds. And what I can say is that everything I shared in this video are real tips that can help you. And it does not matter where you're starting out on your journey, you are able to reach and achieve those fitness goals that you're striving for. You got this. I believe in you, and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye, besties.